How's it going, everyone? We're going to talk about that movie from the 90s, Home Alone. It's perfect to talk about during the holiday season about how to protect your home from burglars. I'm May Kunka with Remax Elite Realty here in the San Gabriel Valley, and I cover the greater Los Angeles area. So we all know that during the holiday season, there is an increase in packages missing, home intrusions, all that fun stuff. So I wanted to give you guys a couple of tips just to go over some things that you can set up for your home to protect it and to hopefully keep and deter some interest at your property. So one, if you have plans to travel to go out of town or something like that, don't post that on the internet, on social media. There is a lot of people watching, or if you want to set your profile so that it's private, so that only a certain amount of people, close friends can see it, that's fine too. If you're going to go away, you're not going to be home, notify some neighbors, some trusted neighbors, to keep an eye on everything for you, so that they can let you know if there's any suspicious activity. Following this, you want to look at all your lights, right? So if you're not going to be home, set those light timers so it turns on certain times. They're not really expensive, a couple of bucks. You can have timers to set off a lamp light or something like that in the front. Make sure the motion sensor lights, if you have them, change out those light bulbs if they're dim. Have a well-lit area in the exterior so that you can clearly see if anything's happening outside. Check your cameras, make sure they're angled in the right way. If you have them, make sure they're working. And then lock those side gates. A lot of people have front gates, but if you don't have a front gate, you might have a side gate. Make sure those are locked, just because you don't want anyone coming in and out of your property. Another thing is most people have outlets outside their home for Christmas lights, for gardening and stuff like that. But if you don't, there's actually some people that have lights going in through a window and then being plugged into an electrical. Well, that's an easy access for someone to get in and out of your home. And people are watching for just any kind of, loose security in properties that they can get through. Another thing is packages. Those are the easy targets that sit right on your porch, especially if you don't have a front gate. People could just come up and grab them. Here's a couple of tips. Make sure they're put in a discreet area. So if you have a side gate, if you have an area that they can drop it off where it's not noticeable from the street, notify Amazon or whoever you're getting your package delivered by, and they can do that. You can also ask for signature only, ask for a specific time when you know you're home. I have some packages, if they're really important, delivered to my office so that I know that I'm not home during, usually 9 to 5 is when people are working. I have them delivered here. Send them to an in-laws or someone who's not working. Pick it up at the store. Those are all options, and I think Amazon has a new option where they have an Amazon locker. That's kind of a good idea for this certain time, where you can just pick up your package from a local area, especially if it's something expensive or valuable. Make sure your gifts or valuables aren't noticeable from the window. So a lot of people like to put up their trees right by the front. That's really cool, but make sure that you don't have gifts stacking well over the window so people can see in and notice that there's a lot of hot commodities just waiting to be grabbed. Another thing is also, when you dispose of those Amazon boxes with the gifts that you're purchasing out on the street, sometimes it tells you what the boxes are. Sometimes they don't fit in the trash can, and you just kind of leave them out there for the garbage man to pick them up. That just advertises to the neighborhood what you just bought, what you have, or what's hanging around at your property. So, you just want to just keep a very low key around this time, especially. Unfortunately, be very leery of people who are knocking door to door. I think all these things should be just kind of done all year round, not just during the holidays, but unfortunately, sometimes they are from local organizations, nonprofits, but sometimes they're not. And, it's kind of tricky because, I've heard from a lot of people, I've watched the news where someone knocks on the door, and if you don't feel safe to open it, you think it's a solicitor or something like that, you purposely don't answer. And that, if it's an intruder, sometimes they think, great, nobody's home, it's easy access, and they actually try to break into the home. So, you know, if you have one of those Ring doorbells, you can say, you know, what do you want? This way they know someone's home, they know someone's watching them, they know that, you know, you're going to be recorded, or they're going to be recorded. So just kind of just use your best, you know, judgment for something like that. Also, you can call your local police department and ask for what are some protocols, what are some tips, what are some activities they've been noticing in the area that you want to watch out for. Packages have always been kind of the top things lately. That's because it's an easy thing to just pick up. They just go by your door, you know, 10 seconds later, they're off with your package. But, you know, it always helps because they're the ones on the front line getting the calls, getting reports that something has happened. So go ahead and talk to them. And if you notice any suspicious activity, feel free to call them, even if it's for a small thing. I do that all the time. And what it does is then the police officer says, you know, we can't do anything since it's gone, but what we're going to do is we're going to increase patrol in your area. And if you get more than one call in the area, then they're going to be more they're going to be spending more time in your neighborhood, which is a good thing. And then lastly, just beef up your security. If you don't have security, think about it. You know, cameras are deterrents, security systems are deterrents. All those little things can add up and can really help protect your home versus the other. They're going to look for weak entrances, easy access. So if your home has all these safeguards and someone else doesn't, you know, unfortunately, they're going to go with the low-hanging fruit. So, you know, I hope you guys stay safe for the holiday season. I hope these tips are helpful. We did post a link online from Realtor.com with some of these tips. But if you like this video, go ahead and like and share with anyone who might find this useful. And then go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or you can go ahead and just like our video. Thanks so much. Have a great and safe week. Take care.